his thoughts on that. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing this morning?
What's happening, bud? We're making it through. A little bit of a scratchy throat here. Got those early spring allergies kicking up. What's happening with you, man?
Hopefully the rain washes it away, right?
For real, right? It's washing away. It's washing away some games, right? I guess you guys season opener pushed back a little bit.
Well, we weren't. We're set to open on Monday, so hopefully everything holds off from here on out. We got 4 games this week, and I mean the weather outlook looks, high 50s, low 60s. Hopefully, it's just no precipitation. But
yeah, you never know. Early April's always kind of a chaotic time for high school baseball teams. You never know if you're going to be playing from day to day. How tough is that for you as a pitching coach to kind of set up any kind of rotation?
Well, I mean, we're always mapping out what we want to do, and at the same time, it's kind of like, this is all tentative. We have 4 games coming up this week. We have our guys slated. We've already got our guys slated that are going to start, but we also have, a little contingency plans in place because, you never know what's going to happen exactly. So, this guy may start on Monday, this guy's starting on Wednesday, but if we need to go to somebody, we may have to adjust accordingly as we work our way through. The new pitch count's going to be interesting. I really don't think it's going to have this crazy effect that a lot of people do think, because I think a lot of the teams in the area, they do the right things. They are monitoring how many pitches their kids throw. They're not overworking them. I feel like you really run into more of the arm issues, I guess, as kids get into more, their travel ball programs.
Right.
Where, they are playing multiple positions, and, they're in a game, and there's not much time where they're getting pulled from a shortstop or right field, left field. And they, in between innings, they run behind the dugout, they get loose, and then next inning, they're on the mound. I think, from what I know, our experience with all the coaches that we coach against in this area, you got a really good group of young coaches that, they really are doing what's right for the kids and making sure that we are taking care of our kids' arms.
So Coach, excuse me, what actually is the pitch count rule? Is it pitches per game and then, X amount of pitches, you got to rest X amount of days?
Yeah. So before, we always had the rule that if you couldn't in a 4-day period, you couldn't go over 10 total innings. So if you threw 5 innings, you had to sit for at least 2 calendar days. If you threw more than 6, you had to sit for 3. Now what's happening is I can bring somebody in today to throw to close out a game. If you throw 1 to 30 pitches, you have no rest. But if I want to bring you back tomorrow, you can't exceed 50 pitches. So there's that little nuance. If you throw 31 to 50, I think it's 1 day.
Right.
I think up to 72 days, up to 93, and then you cap it at 110. You can't, once you hit 90 or something to 110, it's 4 days rest, and then you can't go over 140 in any 5-day period. So there is going to be some monitoring that needs to be done. I know with us I know Coach Carmichael and myself, we really like to try and put together a really good schedule. And, a lot of times there's 4 games, 5 games in a week. So this is a season where I think a lot of teams, we've taken the approach that, almost everybody on the team is pitching. And we've got, I would say, about 10 guys that are going to throw for us this season.
Now, how do you make sure that you're monitoring those pitch counts correctly? Sometimes you leave it up to a kid on the bench. Sometimes they're goofing around or whatever. They miss 3 or 4 pitches.
Well, yeah, and we're real big on charts. Our guys are always we're trying to get this with the preseason. We're trying to get them all used to it. We always have guys on clickers and different pitch charts. We're always trying to get as much information as we can about our guys and the other team. I know what the state wanted to do is it was called an OAPC, an official adult pitch counter. The problem with that is for a school district to provide that, you'd have to pay someone, and there's already money that's been budgeted out. In the instance that there isn't an official adult pitch counter provided by the home team, both teams are supposed to meet every half inning at home plate or whatever, to discuss the pitch count for that inning.
Really?
Yeah, and So if there's a conflicting, say, EHT has 26 pitches and Mainland has 24 pitches, and then it could go to the umpire, and if the umpire has definitive knowledge, he can say, well, it's this and that, and then that's the final ruling. But if the umpire does not have anything, I believe it's supposed to rest with the home team.
Huh.
And then, say another pitcher reaches their max. Say you're on the mound and you're at 109 pitches. You are allowed to take on that batter, and then whatever the result is, you can go up to 113, 114 pitches. But once that batter is done, then you are removed.
So it's pretty much it's kind of loosely based on the Little League rules, right?
Yeah, and it's a whole pilot program. I know they're gonna see. There's going to be some issues, I guess, with conflicting reports on who's threw how many pitches, and then when you go out before every game, you need to take out with your lineup card. Okay, this pitcher is available for this amount of innings today. This pitcher's completely shut down. I know they were discussing about possibly putting the pitch count limits, putting a pitcher's total pitches in the newspaper underneath the box score, so people could be aware of who threw what and how many.
Uh-huh.
What it ends up being is just going to be a little bit more paperwork on the coaching staff.
Gotcha, right.
So, it'll be interesting.
We're talking with Sean Coyle. He's pitching coach over at Egg Harbor Township High School. So, Coach, do you think this will affect how you approach your job as a pitching coach? Do you need more arms now, or is it kind of, we think with the pitch counts we had last year, we're pretty good with the plan we had the last couple of years?
Well, we always have had the mindset that we are always. We're always of the mindset we want action in 3 pitches or less. We want to pitch to contact. We want to stay away from deep counts. So I think you're going to see what a lot of teams now is you're going to see a lot more pitching staff attacking the strike zone. I think you're going to see possibly a lot less waste pitches. I don't think you're going to hate to see your pitcher go 0-2 to 3-2.
Right.
And I think it's going to be the onus is going to be on a lot of offensive lineups, to try and really grind out at bats and really, if you can get some of your deeper guys in your lineup to grind out 7 and 8 pitch at bats, that's a big, even though you may ground out or strike out, that's a big win because you're driving that pitch count up.
I've never been a proponent of the quote unquote waste pitch. If you got a guy 0-2, just finish him off. What's the point of throwing one 3 feet out of the strike zone? It doesn't do it. It's just a waste. It's a waste pitch for you as the pitcher, really.
Yeah. And there's times where with our guys, we want to attack the strike zone, but we don't want to give them that, we don't want to give them that, that meatball right down the middle.
Sure, yeah.
They get a little nervous, and then maybe we go to the high fastball, and then next thing you know, it's above the batter's head, and it's a complete waste pitch that as soon as the batter sees it out of the hands, he's not even giving it any attention. I just think I think the game is going to move in that particular instance. I think it's going to move a little bit clearer because pitchers are going to be attacking because they are going to be the coaching staff are going to be aware of what the pitch count is. I think it will slow down at times with the maybe some discrepancies between this guy threw this amount of pitches and so forth. I think just the teams itself are you're going to have to attack the strike zone. You're going to have to we're going to have to put balls in play, and the game's going to have to move that way, or guys are going to be out of games pretty quick.
Coach, have you spent any extra time with your pitchers sort of teaching the put-away pitch, kind of explaining, hey, a slider that's 1.5 feet out of the strike zone isn't going to fool anybody, but if it's 8 inches out of the strike zone, maybe you get that third strike instead of going to 1-2, 2-2.
Yeah, we try to be, with everything, we try to be around the zone. We don't want to be, I know too, you kind of have the batter sort of where you want him, so maybe he does have to go out of his comfort zone to protect himself. We've always been in the mindset, though, that, we are going to attack the batter, that we want action at 3 pitches less. We want to keep our defense engaged. We want the game flowing. We want balls put in play, but we want the batter hitting our pitch too at the same time.
Right.
So our guys they like to be, we like to be unpredictable, and when you think you're getting a fastball, no, you're getting this, or if you think you're getting off speed, no, you're getting this. So that's what we kind of pride ourselves on.
Coach, real quick, what's the confidence level of this team? You got some pretty good players back from last year's team that made a nice little run late in the season there. Seems like I was out there the other day catching a little bit of your scrimmage against St. Joe's, and seems like these guys are ready to go. They got a lot of confidence. Some guys who have been on varsity for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's this is an exciting year for us. We lost a lot of guys last year, but we returned a strong senior class, a lot of strong senior leadership, and we have some really good talent making its way up through the program. And there's a lot of guys that they're getting their first cracks this year, but I think we're looking at a very, very special team. But we're in a tough league, though. There's so many good teams in the Cape Atlantic League, and it's just good to look at the Philadelphia Inquirer rankings and see how much love that the Cape Atlantic League is getting now in comparison to the Olympic and the Colonial and all that stuff. So I'm really excited for this season. I think it's going to be a great year. I think there's going to be a lot of great things going on with all the teams in the Cape Atlantic League. Good
stuff, Coach. We're up against the break. Got to let you go. Good luck on Monday, man.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Take care.
That was Coach Sean Coyle, the pitching coach for Egg Harbor Township High School.